The ocean had a film on its surface over the deep mess. Hector and I stalked in, letting the water adjust our legs to its temperature, the liquids inside and out the same. 20 feet south, people from our class drifted. Girls wearing bikini tops, their arms stretched out over the surface, and guys just in shorts doing lazy tricks, kicking water. We didn't have a chance with girls, and we knew it. Hector's limbs still looked like antennae, and I could feel my fat. Tan fat was better than white fat, at least. I had dark skin. Charlie didn't have a chance either, but he walked toward the girls, hands in his pockets, looking as if he were studying the glassy waves. Everyone got married eventually, even fat people, I thought. Marge Cottle was married until her husband died on her. Philip Audrey stood laughing with my mom. A fan of hair blew over her cheek. I wondered if he thought she was pretty. Hector could stand up on a surfboard. The waves always pulled me under. I had a catch of salt in my throat. This was one of those rare days I knew I'd remember later. Our Western childhoods. The fucking eternal boom of the surf. The boops pranced at the fringe of foam with other little kids, their shrieks mostly lost in wind. I noticed my mom on her phone, pacing in the sand. She had a red phone then, big enough to see from a distance. Who was she talking to, I wondered. We were all here. Most of the kids in our class bobbed in the water. Ella knelt on a board. She was known for having a beautiful older sister, but I thought Ella was cuter. I was the only one who thought that, and it occurred to me that if she knew, she might be grateful. But I couldn't figure out how to ever tell her. Simon swiveled Ella's board, tipping her into the water, her t-shirt getting drenched. Maybe it was okay that we weren't them. We would be later. We would be in college. The rabid rabbits had started liking people, and now everything was messed up. Charlie liked Estelle, but she stood motionless like a deer by her mother. Zeke liked Leah, but today she'd declared herself in love with Simon. I liked Ella, but I wouldn't tell anyone because I knew I didn't have a chance. Nobody liked who liked them. I ate a lot, but still had that scooped-out feeling from being in the water a long time. I felt skinny, but I wasn't. I loved soft cupcakes. I ate 3. Hector liked the tougher kind. Boop 1 stood at attention at the table for henna tattoos, arms straight at her sides, while the woman pressed the patch on her arm. Ella lifted her blouse, and I saw she'd gotten a belly. That seemed terrible and sad. My mother stood with Sayre, their hair wild. The Mims had gotten a tattoo on her ankle, a navy blue chain of flowers. Sayre had an anchor on her left shoulder. Hector rode shotgun on the way home. The boops fell asleep, a head bored into me. Then my mom's phone went on speaker by mistake. It did that sometimes, in those early days of the technology. "Just so if anything happened," I heard Eli say, "she could tell Timmy." "I love you," my mom said in front of us. I blushed for Hector to hear. The boops were out cold. I wasn't shocked. It wasn't that. If someone had asked me, I would have said she probably loved Eli, but I'd never heard her say that out loud to anyone besides me and my dreadful sisters. Not even to my dad. They hadn't been that kind of couple. I always liked that about them. After the phone snapped off, she said that Eli had had an emergency operation to take out a tumor in his pituitary gland. "In D.C.?" I asked. "Isn't the pituitary gland in the brain?" Hector said. "Yes, but it went well, and he's recovering. His ex-wife is there." "Where does she live again?" "Wisconsin, with Timmy and her parents." I wondered if my mom would go to Washington. We generally went to the hospital. Esmeralda's son had had an operation from a pitching injury, and we drove in traffic to bring him a Game Boy my mom would never have bought for me. Eli was in the hospital for brain surgery. She probably had to go, but I didn't want her to. It was the kind of summer night I loved. At 4 in the morning, I heard my mom bounding up the stairs. She stomped out on